Right. There are quite a few of what I call the modern day Daoist or Daoists in the Western world that they didn't actually say they were Daoists, but with their action and their personality and what their legacy, you can tell that they were actually had their idea of a Taoism, the Trinity. And one of the most famous one as a Taoist, modern day Taoist, is Leonardo da Vinci, which is famous Vitruvian Man. Now, if you look at the Vitruvian Man, it's got the circle and it's got the square. And as I said in previous pages, in chapter 2 or chapter 3, that the Vitruvian Man represents the trinity of Taoism, heaven, earth, man, where the heaven is a circle and the earth is square, and the man, human being, as at the junction of heaven and earth. And if you look at that Vitruvian Man, which around was drawn about circa about 1490s, Leonardo da Vinci has put that idea that the man, the human being's figure, his hand both touches the square and the circle, and his feet both touches the square and the circle. So he was indirectly saying that man is at the middle, at the junction between heaven and earth. So we both, our feet are on the square, and our heads and hands and our body is in the between the heaven and earth. So between the circle and the square, and that's what the representation of the Vitruvian Man is. One of the most famous kind of diagrams or pictures in the Western world is that Leonardo. I'll talk about more of the modern Taoists as we go along, but just want to mention this trinity of Taoism and the Vitruvian Man. So, and that's what he was saying. One of the quotes from him is, knowing, which is yin, is not enough. We must apply, which is yang. That was one of his saying. So he was talking about the yin and the yang. And secondly, he said, being willing, which is yin, is not enough. We must do, yang. So he was talking about the yin and the yang in a very kind of a subtle way. And his diagram, the Vitruvian Man, is based on that. So on this creates this loop, this infinity, what I call loop of infinity between yin and yang, like figure of 8. And that's what the Taoism is about, yin yang chi, and that movement. So man is between heaven and earth, and that's what it represents.